Hey guys, Spider here, and I want to talk a little bit about a lot of the negativity I think that I'm seeing towards Black Ops 2 and maybe even Call of Duty in general. And I know while, people are certainly justified in some of their opinions, I just think that maybe some of this negativity is misplaced possibly. And I'm just seeing a lack of excitement towards a new game. And to be quite honest, I understand some of the issues in previous titles. I understand there's going to be issues with Black Ops 2. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. We sort of know what to expect. It's another iteration of Call of Duty. Yes, they're changing things. They're adding new weapons. It's going to sort of be based in this near future setting. But there are going to be issues with it. I mean, there is no, let's face it, there is no perfect game out there. Uh, as much as certain games, they're pretty damn close. Borderlands 2, thank you, is pretty damn close. But there are going to be issues with Black Ops 2, and I think people just tend to focus on that negativity, tend to focus on all the negative things and the negative aspects about these games, and really blow it up out of proportion in my mind. I mean, sure, yeah, there are issues with spawning, there are lag compensation issues with Modern Warfare 3, there are issues going back to Black Ops, and issues with Modern Warfare 2, and certain weapons, and quote-unquote overpowered weapons, and everybody using them, but really, the vast majority of these issues reflect on you. Right? If I look in the mirror, and I'm gonna reference a certain program from Tony Robbins. All right, this is I think it's called Personal Power or something like that. I used to listen to these audio tapes years ago from Tony Robbins, and he talks about how letting things impact you and how they impact you, and how you have the choice. How you have the choice to let those things impact you one way or the other. Maybe you get all negative, and we've all been there. We've all gotten really, really negative. We've gotten to the point where we've rage quit games probably, or most of us, the vast majority of us anyway, because we thought that somebody, we were versing trick shotters, or we're versing people that, a team full of MP7 users in Modern Warfare 3, right? So we rage quit the game, we shut it off, and we start complaining about the community, but really, we really have to, I think, look in the mirror and say, well, how am I letting that impact me? Okay, everybody's using MP7. All right, well, I'll pull out my MP7 and maybe go after them. I don't know. But I think there's certain aspects of the game that really push to drive that sort of behavior and that sort of negativity. So I'm going to use an example of probably one of the biggest motivators for negativity in Modern Warfare 3. And it's the kill streak reward / Moab. And I'll probably look at the example of a Moab. And especially in the terms of running it on a free-for-all or trying to get one on a free-for-all, for instance, where, yes, the spawns are a little messed up. You could spawn right in behind somebody, or they could spawn in right in behind you. If you didn't have those kill streak rewards, if you didn't have those rewards that ended upon your death, would it really matter that much? And would you be really, really that pissed off because you ended up going 24-1 in a free-for-all instead of getting your 25-0 with your Moab? I don't think it would have as much of an impact, and I think that's where sort of Battlefield 3 got it right from a kill streak standpoint. I mean, they don't have any. There aren't any, right? So if you die, no big deal. You respawn, you're back in the action, and there's no rage quitting. If I die because I'm at 24 kills on my Moab because of a bad spawn, I'm freaking out, and I'm laying into Infinity Ward because they have a shitty spawn system. But again, I think it's the result of your anticipation, your own anticipation of wanting that Moab and getting it taken away from you, and basically blaming the producers of the game, saying, well, your game's crap because you just made me lose my Moab. Well, yes and no. I mean, no, really, you're playing a free-for-all. You know the way the spawn system is. You know there could be issues with it, or people could spawn very, very close together, and you could lose your Moab, or people camping, right? And it's the same thing. It's because of that kill streak reward, that anticipation of that Moab. Somebody kills you from a corner. He's sitting in a corner camping, and he kills you at your 24th kill, and you freak out. Freaking campers, blah, 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 COD campers. You know what? Camping exists in games, period. Get used to it. Get used to it. That's the way it is. And it doesn't matter what game it is. It doesn't matter. And, from my own standpoint, for kill streak rewards, it actually does promote camping. If I'm close to getting that high level kill streak reward, yeah, people are going to play it a little closer. You're going to play it a little more campy. You're not going to go nuts, and unless you're not aware of how big your streak is, and you just keep going, right? But maybe you're going to camp it a little bit and get those last few kills in order to get your kill streak reward, and then maybe the other player on the other team comes around the corner, he's at 24 kills, and you end up killing him because you're camping, and he flips out on you, right? And you're like, well, I wasn't camping for most of the game, it was just that one kill. So, I don't know. I have been negative, and what I'm going to try and do, because I really, really want to do this, is be a more positive force for these games, and really, if there are issues, it's not to say I'm not going to come out and try and address issues with the game, but really, I think what I'm going to focus on is, well, what can we do to make that less of an issue for us, okay? For example, for trick shotting, what things can we do if we're facing an enemy team that's doing nothing but trick shotting, outside of leaving the game? Because that's obviously a choice. Just leave the game, leave the lobby, go into another lobby. Well, what else could we do? Maybe we want to mess around with them. Like nuke boosters. We all hate nuke boosters. Well, let's turn that into a game. Let's roll that into a positive and go after them and screw them up and end their kill streaks so they don't get the nuke, right? And going back to Modern Warfare 2. So just things like that. And, there's still going to be negativity. I think that negativity in general is just growing, and I think there are lots of people that are promoting and pushing for that negativity and really feeding off of it. And even, if you're going to... It's one thing to be negative, but to try and you will deflate people. You will deflate people just by being negative, but trying to push that negativity and say, well, don't be excited about this, or that's really, really negative. You should think the same too, or you shouldn't be so excited about this. You know what? I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the next iteration of Call of Duty. All right? Hey, is it going to be the best Call of Duty ever? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. Who knows, right? I can't make that determination now, obviously, but I'm still going to get excited about it. I'm disappointed there's no MP5. I mean, I'm looking at some of the weapons, and I'm like, oh man, there's no MP5. But hey, I'm going to use other weapons that I don't typically use and haven't typically used, that I've actually started to go and use in Modern Warfare 3 and the previous Call of Duties. So, but like I said, I mean, it's one thing to have that negativity, and it's an entirely another thing to try and push it upon other people. And I just want to make sure that when Black Ops 2 and from here on in, that I personally I want to be excited. I don't want to let past experience, because of the disappointments and some of the things that are lacking in some of these games, and as I mentioned, there are going to be things lacking in Black Ops 2, but I'm not going to let those past experiences make me a Scrooge and say, well, I don't really like, Black Ops 2, it's going to be okay, we'll have to wait and see. You know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm sorry for the language, but they're putting a ton of money into this thing. Look at the writer. One of the writers they have on staff writing for the campaign was a writer on Batman, on the some of the recent Batman movies. They got Trent Reznor in there to do a track, the title track for Black Ops 2. They have an entire team dedicated to zombies. A lot of the stuff that they're pushing for in the competitive side of multiplayer, I mean, they're pouring a lot of money into this, and I think it's going to be an excellent game, and I think it will have its issues, but I think we can get around those issues. I think we can deal with the issues as we do in pretty much every single other game we play. I repeat, every single other game we play, there are issues. So let's get over it, man. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped for a new Call of Duty. The hell? Black Ops 2. And I'm almost thinking they're pumping more money into Black Ops 2 than they have in any previous Call of Duty title. I don't know. It's hard to say. But with the amount of effort they're putting in, especially on the zombie side, and putting a whole team together just for zombies, and some of the big names they have for the writing and for the music, etc., it wouldn't surprise me if Black Ops 2 had the largest budget of all Call of Duty games that have been released. Well, I guess going back to Modern Warfare, just call it COD 4, Modern Warfare. So, come on, guys, let's get pumped! It's less than 2 months away, like a month and a half, and we'll have a new Call of Duty game in our hands. Whether it's disappointing or not, who cares? Who cares? Maybe it will be the biggest disappointment ever. But until then, I'm excited. Let's do this. I wish it was releasing today. Because I'd be playing it right now, damn it. There's the phone, so I gotta go. I'm spidering him out.
Your work is appreciated. Well done.